Good morning, kiddos. It's Tuesday. I got up this morning, went for a run, and I decided today would be the day that I would make the chocolate meringue pie that we read about in Night of Twisters yesterday. So if you want to make this, it's yummy, and it's not that hard. There's actually some science to this one too, so that's a great thing, besides fractions. So, a couple things you're going to need. Hershey's cocoa. These are unsweetened cocoa. See that? Natural, unsweetened. You need that. Salt. Vanilla. Cornstarch. I love cornstarch. I don't know if you guys know what it is, but it's the softest baby powder feeling stuff ever. I love it. Cream of tartar. This is where the science comes in. 3 eggs, 1, 2, and I have one more. 3 eggs, sugar, and milk. Got my milk and my sugar over here. So those are the things you need. If you need to pause the video to get them, I will put them here so that you can see them all. And you go get that, pause the video and go get this stuff. Cornstarch, salt, unsweetened cocoa, vanilla, cream of tartar, and 3 eggs. So you pause the video and go get those things. Alrighty, now let's cook. Bake. Oh, I'm sorry, you need one more thing. Duh. You can get a pie crust. You know, you can buy those pie crusts at the store. They come in a long, skinny box, and you just unroll the pie crust, and it's a white pie crust, and put it in a pan. And then you're ready. I bought this chocolate pie crust. It's graham cracker chocolate because we're making a chocolate meringue pie, and so more chocolate the better, right? This is what the lid looked like when I bought it. Okay, so we'll need that in a little bit. All right, let's start. First things first. I need my phone because my phone has the recipe. And we need, some of this stuff is going to go in a pan because you're going to warm it up. So you need a pan. You need a mixing bowl. This goes on my fancy schmancy mixer thing that looks like that. But you can that kind that you put the things in. Let me show you. You can also use this kind of mixer, and it has 2 sort of blade things that go in. That works too. All right, but I'm using the fancy schmancy one. And when you mix on those kind, the hand kind, it already has the same blades that you always get. On my fancy schmancy one, it comes with all kinds of different utensils, mixers, and this is the one that you use for this recipe. For the meringue, which is the fluffy white part on the top. Chocolate meringue pie. This is going to be awesome. Everybody's awesome. Okay, I need 5 tablespoons of unsweetened cocoa. Now remember that there's a difference between a tablespoon and a teaspoon. A teaspoon looks like this. A tablespoon is bigger. That's the one we want. And it says a tablespoon on it. Oops, it's upside down. Tablespoon has a B in it. Let's see if I can turn that there. You can kind of see 1 tablespoon. TBSP. So we need 5 of those. And they should be level, flat, not heaping. Sometimes the recipe will tell you heaping, but this one just wants flat tablespoons. To get them flat, if it's heaping like that, you can rub the spoon up along the side, and it will flatten it off. 4, 5. When Claire bakes, She talks 100 miles an hour, even though she's really shy around other people. At home, she talks a lot. And when she bakes, she'll be talk, and dumping in the stuff and completely forgets to count. So make sure you're counting how many tablespoons you just put in. Okay, and then you need 3 tablespoons of cornstarch. Cornstarch is a thickener. If you put it in juice off of meat and then warm it up, it'll thicken it to more like gravy. So cornstarch, the job of cornstarch is to thicken things. We need 3 level tablespoons again. So there's 1, 2, 3. Voila. Oh shoot, I was going to start my video by saying bonjour ma petite chouchou. Sounds French, and this sounds like a very Frenchy recipe. Okay, then sugar, we need 6 tablespoons, and salt. So I've got my sugar here. And I need 6 tablespoons, again the big one. Flat across the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. 6 tablespoons of sugar, and then we need just the teeniest bit of salt, a 1/4 teaspoon, a 1/4. A quarter is a 1/4. Remember it, because it takes 4 quarters to make a dollar. A 1/4 of a teaspoon, and it's teeny tiny. Look how tiny it is compared to this one. It just holds a little bit. You don't want like a super salty pie, right? Well, I would, because I love salt, but not everybody else would. So that's all the salt you get. Seems like a crime not to put salt in food. Okay, so we got our salt, cocoa, sugar, cornstarch in a medium saucepan. Now, in this saucepan, we're going to add 2 cups of milk, but not all at once. It wants you to add it slowly. So I have to turn the top of my stove on. Now, where is that? We're going to add 2 cups of milk, but slowly. So I'm going to go over here so you can see me cooking. Oh well, that's as good as it gets, people. So I've got my pan, putting it on my oven here where the fire is going. I'm going to add slowly 2 full cups. This is a 1 cup measuring thing. 2 cups of milk. And stir while you're adding. Okay, so here's 1 cup. I'm not going to add it all at once. I'm going to put a little in, mix it up. And then it starts blending. All that powdery stuff starts turning into a liquid. This will end up being kind of a pudding type filling. Okay, now I've added half. I'm going to add the second half of my milk. Just sort of pour it and stir at the same time. One hand is pouring, one hand is stirring. Since this is on the stove, make sure that you have parents' permission to do this, or a parent helping you. You can make your whole family happy by making this chocolate meringue pie today. All right. Friday is May Day. It's also a good day to celebrate Mary, because May is the month of Mary and Friday starts it. So on your lesson plans, you might notice that I put maybe do a little May crowning at your house, and maybe say the joyful mysteries. Those are the mysteries when the angel came to Mary and told her she was going to have a baby. She was like 14 or 16. Probably not part of her plan. Other people might not have understood and thought she's going to have a baby and she's not married to Joseph yet. And they might have been kind of offended or rude to her or all kinds of things. Plus, Joseph didn't know what was going on either. So this was going to be hard for Mary. And she looked at God and she said, I am like your handmaid, your servant. You do whatever you want and I will follow. That is great humility, not thinking your plan's the best, humility. That's great obedience, and that's great faith and trust in God's plan, even though that made zero sense to her. All right, so I've got all the milk in now, and I'm going to lift this up and show you what it looks like. See there? So I'm going to be stirring that, all that chocolate milk mixture. I've got some sugar in there, some cocoa in there, cornstarch, salt, and then I just added 2 cups of milk, and I'm stirring that over medium heat. And you want to keep stirring until it gets thick and bubbly. So I'm going to do that for a while. I'm going to pause the video because it'll take a little while to get it thick and bubbly. So I'll turn the video back on once I get to that point. Okay, I'm back, and it's all thick and bubbly now. Let me show you. See that it's thick and bubbly? Thicker and it's bubbly. So now I've turned the heat down to medium-low. It was on medium heat. Now it's on medium-low, and cook it for 2 minutes. To get it that thick only took about 2 minutes. I thought it would take a little longer. So that took about 2 minutes. Now I'm going to cook it on medium-low for 2 minutes. And okay, I'm going to stop there for a second because there's one more thing I have to do while I cook it on medium-low. And we're going to move back over here to do that. So I took the mixture off the heat for just a minute or 2, and that's okay. It says I can do that in the recipe. Now, we need egg whites and egg yolks. If you look inside an egg, there's the yolk, the yellow part, and then there's all that clear, gooey stuff. We need both. So you have to separate them when you crack them. I have this special egg separator, so I'll crack the egg and I'll the yolk and the white part fall into this, and the white will separate out. The gooey part will fall through, and the yolk will stay in the little cup part. Okay, so I'm going to put the egg yolks in my big mixing pan because that's going to go in the mixer. Then when I have that yellow yolk left, I'm going to put that in a small bowl, any kind of small bowl. Okay, so I have my 3 eggs. I've got my egg separator. Crack the egg, open it, and let it fall into there. And did you see that? All that white stuff went, I'm going to throw the shell in the sink for now. All that white stuff went into this pan below me here. And then the egg yolk I'm going to take and put right over here in this one. So I've got an egg yolk in there, an egg white. There we go, egg white in the big pan, okay? I need a big pan for that because we're going to mix that and it's going to get great, big, and fluffy. Okay, second egg. Crack it, open it into my separator. Oops, trying to get any shells in there. Separate it out. All that white goo. The white goo is not separating. There we go. Okay, so that all I have left really is now an egg yolk. Just a little bit of white goo. Can scrape that off. Okay, so now I have just that left. Dump that in there. Last egg. So I'm getting my egg whites in the big pan and yolks in the small little bowl. The big pan full of whites we're going to set off to the side. Right now with this warm chocolatey mixture, we need these egg yolks. There's 3 egg yolks in there. And that's all we need for the egg separator. I'll use these egg whites in just a little bit. But right now I've got these eggs. And I'm going to add to them just kind of mix them up so they're all like that. Okay, now they're all blended. They're not like little blobs anymore. Because I'm going to add 1 cup of that warm chocolate mixture into this, stir it up, and then put it right back into the pan again. Okay, so I have my 1 measuring cup here and my warm chocolate mixture. I'm going to put 1 cup in there of that mixture. Okay, there we go. That's 1 cup. And then I dump it, 1 cup of the chocolate mixture, and I dump it into my egg yolks. And then I'm going to mix that all up. And then after I mix it all up, it's going to go right back into the pan, and we're going to cook it for a couple more minutes. That'll make it kind of puddingy, custardy. And that'll be the main part. And then we're going to use the egg whites to make the big fluffy white meringue stuff that goes on the top. Okay, so I've got that all mixed, the eggs and the chocolate mixed together. And I'm going to pour that back into my pan. And I have spatulas, which can help you get all of it out, because sometimes you'll be left with some on all the sides. So if you use a spatula, you'll be able to wipe down all the sides really well. You'll get all of the mixture out that you can. Okay, that's what this is, a spatula. Alright, so now I'm ready to move this back over to the oven and cook it for 2 more minutes on medium-low heat. First I got to turn it on, and I turn it down to medium-low. Okay, put it back on, and I'm going to cook that for 2 minutes, stirring the whole time I'm cooking. Keep it from getting lumpy, I think. Whoops, sorry about that. All right. In the meantime, my recipe went away. There we go. All right. In the meantime, I was telling you about Mary and having a special day on Friday for May Day. You could do May baskets too. That's a whole nother, that's not a May crowning thing, but it's fun to do May baskets, and it works perfectly for social distancing because you're not supposed to get near people. You're not even supposed to have them see you do it. Make little May baskets. When I was little, we made them with candy and popcorn, but I've seen people do it with popcorn and little tiny flowers or whatever you think. But we made little baskets out of paper. We would like twirl them into cone shape and put little handles on them, fill them with candy, and leave them on the porches of our friends, and ring the doorbell and run. And then when they came to the door, there was all these little baskets of candy on their porch. I loved May Day. My kids loved May Day. It was one of their favorite holidays because they liked peeling around and not get caught. And sometimes people would come to the door really fast, so they'd go diving into bushes and stuff to hide. It was fun. All right, it's been about 2 minutes now. So now we're going to stir in the vanilla. Remember you had some vanilla? You need 1 teaspoon of that. So I have to remove it from the heat. And on my oven, I'm just going to turn the heat off. If you have an electric oven, you have to remove it all the way from the electric because it'll stay warm otherwise. But on gas, you just turn it off and it's automatically not hot anymore. So remember, we had vanilla, and you need 1 teaspoon, not tablespoon. This is smaller. Oh, I always put them upside down. 1 teaspoon. Mix that into your custard stuff. Okay, set that off to the side and mix that in. Okay, now we're going to take this hot mixture. I need my spatula again because we're going to pour this hot mixture into our pie crust. Okay, vanilla is all mixed in nicely. So I'll get my spatula again. I'll turn this so you can see what I'm doing. And here's the pie crust. So it's kind of dark because the window's in the background. And here's the chocolate mixture. And I use my spatula to pour it into the chocolate mixture. And then I'm going to let that sit while I do something else, which is make the fluffy meringue. That goes on top. Okay. Looks like I got pretty much all of it out. So I'm not being wasteful. Smear it around so it's nice and smooth in your pie, and then I'm just going to let that sit off to the side for now because I'm going to cover that with the meringue when I'm done with the meringue. And the meringue is, so that now that chocolate's sitting off to the side, the meringue is what we're going to use the egg whites and the cream of tartar for. And here's a little interesting thing about cream of tartar. Let me move to the other side. I'll tell you my interesting fun facts. Cream of tartar is actually, it's white powdery stuff. See that? And it's actually made when they make wine or grape juice out of grapes. This is one of the things that's left over after they make it. Isn't that interesting? So we have to put some of this into the egg whites, and then we're going to whip them. And egg whites are kind of protein. You've heard people say you need protein in your diet. Egg whites are a kind of a protein. And protein binds together. It kind of sticks together. They've got little teeny tiny molecules, which everything's made up of molecules. And those molecules will stick together. Cream of tartar is going to, there we go. Cream of tartar, we're going to put that in there, and then we're going to start whipping it, and it'll take a while to whip it, so I'll probably pause the video again because it's kind of loud. But cream of tartar will help those molecules puff up and hold more water, and because if you start whipping it and the cream of tartar's in there, it starts getting bigger and bigger. The egg whites will actually grow 8 times their size. So this is their size now. They're going to get 8 times bigger than that, and all white and fluffy. So that's the job of cream of tartar. Let's go back. Okay, so in a bowl, beat the egg whites with the cream of tartar until soft peaks form. The egg whites are all liquidy now and float around. It'll get to be thick, like almost like whipped cream or something, and it'll make. So if you put this in there and pull it up once it's done, you can make little peaks out of the white stuff because it's so stiff. So let's see how much cream of tartar we needed again. I forgot. I'm sorry. Let's see. 1/4 of a teaspoon. So again, just like the regular salt, we're going to use the teeny tiny one. Just 1/4 of a teaspoon goes in. And then I'm going to put that over here on my special fancy schmancy blender. And I put this kind of blender on it, which is the whipping utensil. Lift it up, and I'm going to turn that on as high as I can, the highest speed I have, and just let it whip for a while. So it's very loud, so I'm going to pause the video while I do that, and then I'll turn it back on when it's all thick. It should take, I'll time it, but I think it takes almost 10 minutes to do the whipping. So let's pause, and then when I get back, you'll see my egg whites are nice and white and fluffy. Okay, I'm back, and I have my meringue stuff is nice stiff peaks, so I'm going to show you that. Can you see it? Lower this. That makes nice stiff peaks. Okay, so that's what we need now to put on top of our pie. And while I was waiting, I cleaned up all my stuff. I put my ingredients away. I put some bowls in the dishwasher, rinsed them off, put them in. And I also, before I started the meringue, and I forgot to tell you this, I'm so bad at telling you these things, I turned the oven on to 350. Let me make sure that 350, and it doesn't take very long to bake this. Some things take forever to bake. This does not take very long. So your oven needs to be at 350. Get all of that stiff meringue off. We're going to go back over here to my pie. I'm going to turn this down a little bit so you can't see me as well, but you can see the pie. Okay, see the pie? And I've got my meringue, and I've got a clean spatula. So I'm going to take my meringue and put that on top of the yummy chocolate stuff. It's very stiff, as you can see. The longer you beat it, the more it whips up and gets stiff like that. And I beat it for about 5 minutes. Okay, so now I'm going to press this meringue down over the whole pie and kind of try to seal those edges of the pie. See how I'm getting it right to the edge, like that. Okay, kind of try to seal the edges of the pie with the meringue. Alright, this is what, on the day of the tornado, you would remember really weird things sometimes when something big happens. And Dan said, for whatever reason, he remembered that his mom baked a chocolate meringue pie that day, the day of the tornado. The tornado actually happened at night, but he was remembering all the things that happened in the day leading up to it. All right, so I've got my whole meringue pie covered, chocolate meringue pie covered, and I use the spatula to make sure that the meringue went all the way to the edges, okay? Alrighty, now I'm going to put this in the oven and bake it at 350 for 12 to 15 minutes, not very long. And when it's done, you want that the meringue part will be puffed up and kind of have the edges of it will be all brown and not burned brown, but just like light brown and crispy. So I'm going to put this in the oven and let it bake for 12 to 15 minutes. So I'm going to pause the video for now, and I'm back. I have about 30 seconds left, so I thought I'd turn it on. This would be a great thing to make for May Day, if you're celebrating May Day and the month of Mary. Maybe after you do your May crowning and say your rosary, you can all enjoy some delicious chocolate meringue pie. If not, my other idea was maybe you could get your dad or an older brother or sister to help you make it for your mom for Mother's Day. Mamas love that. Okay, so that was my timer. Got my handy dandy hot mitts on, and I'm going to take it out of the oven. So I'm going to turn this so you can see kind of. Ah, it looks yummy. So there's my pie. The meringue is kind of brown and crispy on the top. Set it down. And that's that. Have to let it cool. Can't eat it right now for lunch, even though I'm hungry. It's lunchtime when I'm making this. So there you go. Chocolate meringue pie, just like they made in the book. I hope you try it. It's kind of fun to cook. And like I said, it would be a really special thing to make for your mamas for Mother's Day, or make with your mamas for May Day, or anything else you want to do. Have a great day. Hope you liked the recipe. Bye-bye.